Hi there, welcome back. Hope you had fun playing Brown Eyed Girl and really feel like you're starting to get the hang of this now, especially those chords that we've met more than once. So your C, your G, E minor, A minor, I really want you to be feeling comfortable with those. So before we move on to D, there's another hack for finding chords that I want to tell you about. So when we were playing in the key of G, we had to raise our F to an F sharp. And that changed our D minor chord to a D major chord. Now, like most things in music, this method of changing from major to minor and back again is consistent across all the chords. Here's how it sounds. We take our major chord, and if we drop the middle note by a half step, the next available note, that turns it into a minor chord. And if we raise that middle note back again by a half step, that makes it a major chord again. Okay? So you can do this, let's say we're playing a G chord, G, B, D, drop that middle note, and we've got our minor chord, and back again. Now there's two things to think about. First off, that middle note could be a white note to a black note, or a black note to a white note, or as we go further on into chords, a white note to a white note. Okay, we're just looking for the closest available change. Okay, second thing, and this is really important, it's going to be important to us straight away. If this when we say the middle note, I'm talking about the chords in their evenly spaced named note at the bottom root position. This middle note is F sharp. Let's say we're playing our D chord, A, D, F sharp. It's still the F sharp that we need to change. Okay? Now this is why I always encourage you to think of the chords in their root position from the bottom up. D, F sharp, A. And that way you'll always know what that middle note is. Okay, let's find our D major scale. So we're going to find the scale in the usual way. We're going to figure it out using our ears. Now, if you remember what I said about the circle of fifths, we add sharps incrementally. Okay, so we added F sharp for our G scale. So we're going to keep it. Now let's start from D and play up. D, E, F sharp, A, D, E. Now hopefully we spotted that it's the C. Okay, now we know that we need to add a sharp. The only thing we can do is make C sharp. So let's raise that and try again. Lovely, and that sounds right to me. So now we've got the scale, let's find our chords. D, F sharp, A, gives us D major, obviously that's the key we're in. We shift that up, E, G, B. Third time we've met that now. That's the 2 chord in D major. Now things start to get real fun. We're going to play F sharp, A, and our newly sharpened C sharp, which gives us this kind of awkward chord. I would say when you're playing this F sharp, don't be afraid to use this bit of white note that's in between the black notes here. That's what it's there for. Okay, that's F sharp, and you can hear it, that's a minor chord. Next one, G, B, D, there we go, that's our 4 chord, and of course we've met it a couple of times, G major, up we go to the 5 chord, which we know is major, there it is with our sharpened C, and lastly our 6 chord, B, D, and F sharp, again B minor, which we met back in G. So those are our chords. D major, E minor, F sharp minor, G major, A major, and B minor. Okay, so the third common hand movement that I want to talk to you about, I call the pivot movement. Okay, so in our last two movements, we have, so we're here, we've kept the bottom note the same and expanded up and back. G, C, G. We've also kept the top note the same and expanded downwards. G, Now this is a clever trick for chords that are inverted where we keep the middle note the same. Okay, so let's take our D in second inversion. That looks like that. A, D, F sharp. I'm going to keep the D the same, keep the middle note the same, and we're going to move our bottom note and our top note one note up the scale. So A goes to B, F sharp goes to G. And there we've got G, B and D, and that's the 4 chord. It's a G. D chord, G chord, D chord, G chord. Now you'll notice that expanding down takes us 1 to 5. Expanding up takes us 1 to 4. And pivoting upwards takes us 1 to 4. Now here's the thing. 1 to 4 backwards, G to D, is 1 to 5. Okay, so in just these little movements, we've covered 1 to 4 to 5 and 5 to 1 and 4 to 1, I think, in loads of different ways. And as I've said many times before, those are our most common chords. So if we can get used to how those moves feel and start to instinctively feel them out with our hands, we can reduce the amount of time we look at our hands, which is going to enable us to read the chords quicker. So let's put that into practice. We're going to take the verse into chorus section of Everybody Hurts by REM. And we will start with our D chord in this second inversion position that we just used. Okay, that's A, D, F sharp. And what we shall do is we will pivot between D and G. Okay. So if you can hear in your head, middays long. Is yours alone. Okay, and that is just pivoting up and down D to G. But let's not stop there. Let's move on into the kind of chorus section. We're going to use an E minor chord and an A chord. Now we won't find these just out of nowhere. We'll remember that we finished on a G chord. We've got G, B, D. We need E minor, E, G, B. We've got 2 of those notes already, and the E is right here. So we shall just, from here, swap to E minor. Yeah? And now, what we'll do, we'll use that pivot motion again. We're going to move our top finger up to A, our bottom finger up to C sharp because of the key signature we're in, and we'll find ourselves up to the A that we need. Everybody goes. Everybody hurts. And there it is. If you want more info on using the arpeggio pattern to turn those chords we've just used into that classic Everybody Hurts sound, it's all there in lesson 7, I think, of the 10-hit piano starters songbook. Good luck.